Okay, so your name again?
Jaideep Joshi, yeah.
Yeah, so you are from India.
Yeah, that's
and you're Brahmin.
Yeah, that's right.
And okay, so you were explaining to me about in the Vedas, which are the books of the Hindus,
Yeah, yeah.
and all the different castes
Yeah.
use the same books.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there's four of them,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Four of them.
Yeah.
And basically, you were saying that like some things, like even like onions were.
Yeah, I would say, like, because the from centuries, or earlier, when Hindus used to live in Indus Valley civilization and afterwards, yeah. So they were following these books. These books were guidelines for living. Yeah, like if somebody is in a business trade, then how economics, how they will handle. Like Arthashastra. Yeah, Arthashastra is a book which is all about economics. Yeah. So similarly, Ayurveda is a science. Yeah. Set of books and all, which is Ayurveda is which is includes yoga and other practices, way of living, yeah, how to remain healthy using herbs and all other, it encompasses all the things. So what I'm saying is Vedas were actually ways of living, and they evolved from number of years, and they were practiced by the different people based on the way they want to live their life. Yeah, for example, if Brahmins or a particular person is inclined to art or academics and all other things, they don't need to manage people and all other things, but and they are more into religious practices, then they will remain in that way, and they will actually study more things related to religion, and they will adhere to certain principles, like not eating any meat or anything. They will need to eat herbs and basically all plant based things. They were not even allowed to eat onion and garlic and anything you can say, think of in modern times, if you say caffeine or coffee or anything, because these although they are plant based, but they have a effect in your mind which disturbs your calmness. You no longer a good advisor, because you can agitate on things. You can advise wrong decision to the kings. These sadhus were advisors, and they were living in away from the society, and they were coming into the society only to take alms, basically, for eating things, like finding food. And whenever they were coming to the society to take foods, it was a absolute practice by everyone to not let anyone go without having food, or having whatever they can give, they used to give it. I actually, as a child, we were having like a drum just actually by our door, like I was having a drum, and we were having a small bowl within the drum with flour in it, two types of flours in it. And whenever somebody was knocking at the door when I was child, and then we used to know that any kid within the house, because we were living in joint family, they need to run and go and open the door, take the flour, and give actually 2-3 flours bowls of rice or atta, we you call it, that they need to give it. It was an absolute practice, and it was a practice till now, so always. And the Brahmins, basically those who were giving advice, because they were not materialistic, they were away from the society, they were better thinkers, they were actually detached, they were unbiased, they were having extreme powers. I don't know much power it was, but actually in our books it is considered, whatever they were saying, it was coming to be true, whenever they were saying it, because of their maybe the knowledge, their power of God, and whatever their things they were having. So yeah, they were actually like, there were different things I can tell, but actually I would say they were not allowed to eat, even eat. And you can see most powerful section of the society was living away. If they were saying that this is the king need to be, then the king was doing that thing. Like for you can see in Ramayana, like when Bhagwan Ram broke the Dhanush, and then Parshuram came, and Parshuram said, how dare you broke the Shivji's Dhanush, I can, use my farsa and I can cut you. And Ram, who is considered Bhagwan, he was actually on the feet of Parshuram. He knew that he is God, still he was before Parshuram, so that those stories,
Yeah.
and there are many stories, like I can tell you one more story if you want actually, which is very imbibing. What happened is set of sadhus, Durvasa.
What's a sadhu?
Sadhu is saint who is living, Brahmin who is living in jungle, who is just into teaching and who has known Vedas and everything by heart, and he is actually he is an advisor to society and king.
Okay, so basically like Sadguru, Sadguru?
Sadguru is different. Sadguru is a modern sadhu, you can say.
Okay, but basically, okay, these guys, they memorize 4 books. There's 4 Vedas.
It is actually not memorizing,
but they knew,
but basically
they knew these 4.
Practicing, and they say, because these books are you can say knowledge of living. This is because we had multiple sets. It's not only Vedas, Vedas, Puranas, and there are a whole system of academics. It is
okay. So let's say these books, the 4 Vedas.
Yeah.
Can you like say one is like yoga and like
Ayurveda,
what are the 4 books first of all?
So, like
Do you know?
Exactly don't know, but I can tell you Samved, Athur, Yajurved.
Okay, Samved, what is that about? Do you know?
No, actually.
Okay. Samved, and then what are the other 4?
Just Atharved. Atharved means like money related thing.
Okay.
Yeah? Ayurved, like it is science, surgery, and all those related things.
Okay.
Like one of the main thing is Arthashastra, which is also part of Vedas and all. So those which is related to economics. If I say it. So they are actually different.
Yeah.
I also don't know.
So then, okay, so you were telling that story. So
I'll tell you the
yeah.
story. So behind this, Brahmins and all. So power was actually away from society, and so what happened is Durvasa Rishi, who was who was actually very powerful, yeah, and he came with his disciples, yeah, and it was a practice to give food to disciples, yeah, and like whosoever comes, yeah. And in Mahabharata, Pandavas were actually in asylum. They were living, hiding for 14 years. Yeah, in Mahabharata. So they themselves were not having food. Yeah. So and all of a sudden, a team of sadhus appeared. Yeah. Yeah. And so Pandavas knew they were powerful. They were belonging from kings, family and clan, and everyone was actually as such was powerful. But they knew if they have come, and if they will not give food to them, and if they say something, to them, against them, that can come true, So they were all scared, So this is I don't know exactly story, but basically how much it is true or not. But I can tell you what happened is at the time. Then because Sri Krishna, Yeah, he always promised Draupadi that I will be by your side. Yeah, whenever you in trouble. Like at the time of when if you have read Mahabharata, like Duryodhan was taking sari of Draupadi and Krishna saved at the time. Similarly, Krishna, they said that what do we do now? We don't have any food, and the Durvasa Rishi has come with 20 disciples, and we are going to today it will be a very difficult thing. So then Sri Krishna appears, yeah, and he says, I'm like just appears, and he said, and they say, how come you have come? I come just actually, to meet you people. Then Pandavas, Draupadi said, he said, I am feeling hungry, Sri Krishna. And he said, we don't have food any left, and even Durvasa Rishi is outside, yeah. So Sri Krishna looks at the pot, which we call handi, yeah, a clay pot, and he looks at two or one rice pieces left, yeah, and he just eats them, yeah, and he says, after eating, yeah, I am feeling very filled now, yeah, and he just takes dakar, we call vulture, and then burps, yeah, and then as soon as he burps, because he is God, and all the rishis who were sitting outside, yeah, they start getting burps, they start getting feeling filled, and they actually they realize if they will bring food after preparing, and if we don't eat, then it will be difficult for us. So they all runs away from there,
Wow.
So, and this story was telling two things, one is what I was saying is all powerful people were living outside, this one and Parshuramban, if I say it. And second thing is, how important is food, you don't leave even, tiny bit of food into the utensils, These stories, if you tell your kids, if I join up other things, if you tell your kids that this is how actually, it happened, and if it goes into their mind, they will stop, leaving food into the plate and all other things. Did you get me?
Yes.
So yeah, this is how I see.
Awesome. So basically, when you grow up,
Yeah.
you're Hindu, right?
Yeah,
So like in, let's say, Christianity, Sunday is a holy day.
Yeah.
In Judaism, Saturday.
Yeah.
In Muslim, Friday.
Yeah.
Is there a holy day in Hinduism?
So
you have a day off? Or no, not. Yeah.
in India, in Hinduism,
Yeah.
the way culture is, yeah, there are multiple festivals, yeah, and the days like full moon is auspicious,
Yeah.
considered, because it is and science has also seen it, it is powerful when because your body is made up of water, yeah, and like tides and all, similar thing. So you have science has also seen it. You have effect of full moon, so full moon is considered auspicious, yeah.
Auspicious meaning special.
Special,
Yeah. Okay.
and there are different actually days, basically moon based, if you see it. So like 11th day of moon, is for a particular occasion, and 10th day is for a particular occasion. Did you get me? So there are occasions.
Okay.
And when actually there is no moon, that is considered bad, which is we see in our all movies and stories, like many times you see it.
Yeah.
So those things is there, but actually, if I say, this is how I see it. Yeah.
And essentially, like Bollywood, does it talk a lot about religious things or not so much? Like Bollywood is like movies tend to stay away from religion, or no?
I would say, because like Bollywood is Bollywood, politicians and all those things, they are not doing, they are not there for doing social service. Social service and these things are separate, you know. So they talk about it when there is a business value.
Okay.
If there is a business value, if you know whole India is talking about, you know, let's say, you know, for a particular, you know, thing, then they will make a movie out of it and try to earn it, you know, whether it is you know, war or any other thing, basically any attack or any other thing.
And you were saying Bhramans, they were not materialistic, right?
Yeah.
What does it mean to not be materialistic? Because these books were written before Christ.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
these are before Christ,
yeah.
before even Judaism.
Definitely.
Like a few thousand years ago.
Definitely.
And so in those days, maybe materialism meant gold or something. So, like, what does it mean to be not, or maybe in the modern day,
power, you can say, you know, like you are not power hungry. You are not, you know, try to rule the people, and you are not having, you know, lavish, you know, I'll say forts and all. You know, like all kings had forts and multiple queens and all those things were there at the time, isn't it? And
but Brahmins, they won't have like big houses,
no,
or will they?
No.
So they won't have flash cars.
No.
Even now, the ones that are really adhering to it, they won't go out and buy a Ferrari.
You know, okay. So if I say it that, like I said, you know, those people who are more into academics and more into art, they are by nature, I have seen it, you know, they are less materialistic, you know.
So they are not materialistic. So they will avoid. If you go to India and they're adhering, of course, not everyone follows, but if they're from Brahmin, they will not try to show off a car, even if they can afford it.
Yes, they will not show off, and it will not look like, because if they have actually, you know, brought up in that thinking and culture and all, from that, they will not actually. Still they will not. Basically, you will see many, because they are by nature, by, you know, inheritance, they are not into it. So that is why one more thing I want to say here, you know, in this one, because, you know, these are the topics which were always to my heart. So what we call is in Hinduism, Saraswati Devi, our, you know, female god, who is wife of Brahma, she is goddess for Brahmins, Lakshmi ji, who is goddess of money and all other things, who is worshipped in Diwali, she is wife of Vishnu, so it is called, you know, they don't actually, people who are you know, worshipping Saraswati ji, they will not get Lakshmi, and who are worshipping Lakshmi, they will not get you know, Saraswati, they will not be intelligent. Now in this world, it is a different scenario where, you know, IT companies are coming up. IT actually, you know, like educated people are making money. Earlier, educated were not making money. Earlier, actually, the people who were having business sense, who they were making money. Now the world has changed. You know, if I see it that way. So earlier it was earlier you will not find, you know, people who are educated advisors. They were making money. They were not making money earlier also.
But bureaucrats tend to be Brahmins, right?
Yes.
Now, like going into government service.
No, it is because of the nature and community.
Okay.
It is not actually they were choosing it. It was because by default they were landing up there. That is the skill they had.
Okay. And what you're saying is, now, like, because Brahmins were educated, and you now need education to be in IT, you didn't need education to make money, like to be a trader. But now you need it to, like, you're doing AWS and all these things.
Because those things, because now money is coming as a byproduct for the educated people.
Yes, it's a knowledge economy.
Knowledge economy. That is the reason. So otherwise it was never. And that is why you will not see, even in IT or anywhere, people who are very technocrat, you know, they are making money. They may be in NASA and somewhere scientist and all, they are not making money. Making money is a separate trait.
But I heard that they were trying to ban caste system. This is the caste system we're talking about, right?
So caste is
that different than what you're talking about, Brahmin, and why were they trying to ban it?
How it evolved is earlier like it happened naturally. Earlier from 1,000 years it was not a situation. Everyone was having enough things. It was work based society.
Mm-hmm.
Later on it became the people who were there in a particular trade, they wanted to hold on to that trade. So if a businessman is there, he will allow only his son or his other people to be a businessman. That became, because the principally it started breaking up. So like you were saying, and then caste system came. So everyone was saying, because I am born as a Brahmin, I will be Brahmin. Whether I am educated, whether I know Vedas, I have learned it or not, but I will be Brahmin. And you are actually a Shudra, even if you learn it, you will not become a Brahmin. So they started boycotting them, keeping ourselves clubbed together. So then caste system came.
Okay.
And then when caste system came, then wrong things started happening. By wrong means you don't understand the Vedas, and then still actually you are prescribing something. So basically, doctors without a proper degree, and you are becoming a doctor. So that caste system came. But now,
how many castes were there?
So
how many castes?
So there were actually 4 classifications, like I said.
The Vedas. The Brahmins.
Vaishyas and Brahmins and Kshatriyas and your Shudras.
So Brahmin, can you just repeat each caste and what they were good for, what they were unique to?
So at the time, work-wise, like Brahmins were in education, religion, all pujas and everything.
Puja means?
Puja means like worshipping God and temples, owning temples, priests.
Okay, priests. Okay, yeah.
So Brahmins, Kshatriyas were soldiers, kings, those were Kshatriya class,
Yeah.
And then Vaishya is a class which is businessman.
Yeah.
By
so
surname,
merchants.
still by surname you can tell he is Vaishya, he is Brahmin. At the moment,
like give me examples. Brahmins.
So Brahmins like Sharmas, Joshi, Chaturvedi. Like Chaturvedi means 4 Vedas. Dvedi, like knows 2 Vedas.
Okay.
Trivedi, like who knows 3 Vedas. So it is Brahmins. So, similarly, if you say business classes, Guptas, Gargs, and Agrawal, these are actually, this is a class, and
Patels,
and like Singh, and Thakur, these are Kshatriyas, and like Shudras who are not having surnames, Kumar and all, who are living without surname. So then this happened, like I say 20 years, 25 years back, it was the same scenario. A caste system was there, everyone. But after 21 years, as soon as IT and everything opened up, and everyone became affluent, then everything got merged, because now there is nothing, and everyone understood also, it is not to have a caste, so everything got diluted. So now it is diluting, so like if I say my generation people, like cousins and all, they married in the same caste, but after my marriage, I'd say 5 years after, it was all intercaste marriages, which
but
happened.
Still, like, let's say you have a daughter, she's 13, but still, like, probably when she becomes that age, you would still prefer that she goes in this.
So reason is because, reason is because most of the things and alignments, cultural alignments, you will find there. So because
values,
after marriage, there are so many things where you need to adjust, And if certain things are fixed, for example, your festivals are fixed, your gods are fixed, your way of living, your eating habits, so everything is fixed. So actually, let's go for the fixed one first. If you don't find the fixed one, then go for the other thing. Did you get
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just easier if you're
Easier to
adjust.
actually sail it through.
And then your families know each other.
That's right,
You have the same temple or so. And now, do you go to a temple like
Yes.
on a weekly basis?
Yeah, we go.
You're in London, by the way, just for people watching. But typically, like when do you go?
So I go once in a month.
Once in a month, like on a Sunday or Saturday or what?
Generally, we have festivals,
Oh,
like
Diwali,
coming up every
like-
time. Like I went to Diwali, and we went to Dashera, and Janmashtami, and Ramnavami. Different
Okay.
actually, festivals. Yeah.
And also you have multiple gods, right? Like one for
So-
wealth.
yeah. So
How many gods are there?
So actually, thing is, like it was a narrative which was, million gods and all. Those are narratives. But we had 3 gods, yeah.
Main gods or
Main gods.
total?
Like I'm saying, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
3 gods like Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh.
Yeah.
So one is creator, one is technical, who is Brahman's god, Shiva. Another is businessman's, you can say wealth related, who is Vishnu.
Yeah.
Who is so. Yeah. So what I'm saying, mainly 3 gods. Yeah. Then because Indian culture, yeah, if you see entire education everywhere is story based. So they are kathas, for everything, just to actually teach and everyone, because society, the education was through stories, completely through stories. So those stories are made up many times, but those stories are actually, those stories are for giving teachings.
But like in America, they say that religion and church and state should be separate. Is it the same in India, or do you get religious education in schools?
So in India, religious education, I would say it, like religious education, how you
Let's say learning about gods, or is it like, let's say if you're Sikh, do you go to a Sikh school, and if you're
for Hinduism at the moment,
Yeah.
It is actually through the community,
Yeah.
not through the schools.
Okay.
Not through the schools, because schools are because India is 1.3 billion people.
Yeah.
So schools are everything curriculum, because it's a set of people who will have everything. So it is a generic curriculum. It is nothing specific to a particular religion. It cannot be.
And also, I notice in Hinduism, you have these.
this one, yeah.
What are these, and what are these
Threads, yeah.
threads?
Yeah.
What do they symbolize?
So they are tied at the time of actually any festival, yeah.
Yeah.
We like I'm also like in a generation where Hinduism was basically messed up completely, if I say it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm trying, like I have, but these threads are tied at the time of our puja.
Yeah.
And these are of 2-3 colors, yeah, like this yellow. And
So you change this every couple of months or so.
So in every festival they are tied, yeah,
Okay.
with tilak and all.
Yeah.
So, but they are tied, but they are actually I generally don't break them, So whenever new festival comes, I tie it again, new one,
Okay.
that type of thing is there. Nothing
And
specific. Yeah.
is Sikhism a sect of Hinduism?
Yes.
Is it like, what happened? Like, was there a leader for the Sikhs that came in and they wrote another book, or what happened? They have another book.
So at the time, like Sikhism came when there
Around what year?
I don't remember it.
A
Yeah.
couple of 100 years
Yeah,
ago.
couple-
Not
yeah.
like Hinduism, a
Yeah,
few
yeah.
thousand years.
200
and-
or 300 years.
Yeah. Okay.
So Sikhism came when there were actually Hindus who were scared, yeah, because of either Muslims or Marathas or any other community is going, attacking, whosoever at the time wars were going on.
Yeah.
So when Hinduism became weak, at the time,
the Sikh who basically started Guru Nanak, Guru Nanak and Guru Gobind Singh and all. They at the time it became basically a practice that whosoever is your elder son, he will be going to the community. So basically, he will be practicing Sikhism. He will become a protector. So you can say soldier in every house. So that at the time of like we say we say like afterwards we were saying that at 12 o'clock Sikh his mind becomes disturbed.
Yeah.
It is said like jokingly, but actually thing is at 12 o'clock they used to actually protect everyone. So don't come and try to invade Hindu area, because Sikh will be there and he will be upset at 12 o'clock.
That's why they have the sword.
That is why they keep 5 principles were there. So they were actually warriors. That is how it started.
Okay.
They were warriors of Hindu society to protect Hindu society. Then that became a complete separate religion. The elder one, had all his sons and all Sikh, and so they were following the practice. That is how Sikhism came.
Okay, and then with Hinduism, like in Christianity and in Islam, like you have, good points and bad points, and then if you have enough good points, you go to heaven, and you don't make enough good points, you go to hell. In Hinduism, what is the belief? Is there like point system, like that you have to get points by, I don't know, doing something good for the community, you get a point and then you can get reincarnation? The belief is that what happens after you die? What's the belief and how do you get there?
Hinduism is like, it's a karma,
Karma. Yeah, what does karma mean?
Karma means like Hinduism believes that you don't die, you carry your good deeds to the next birth and next birth and next birth. So somebody is has born in a rich family, it is because of his good karmas, and if he does bad karma, then he will become poorer or another family. So it is based on the karma.
But let's say if someone's born poor, like that means they were bad in the previous life, but then they become rich, then
so it is not absolutely because these things obviously cannot be defined exactly. They are a thought process to keep society healthy together and all those things
Yes.
So but Hinduism belief is actually if you do good according to the dharma, like if you are a soldier,
dharma means
like whatever actually is good for the society, you can say not for you.
Good for society is dharma.
And whatever, like we say, lion dharma is to kill and eat, But lion will not kill, 10 animals,
Okay, lion,
Lion will not keep on killing, But if lion kills one animal, and eats it, then he is not doing wrong. That is how it is considered.
Perfect. And why do you think that India has really boomed in the last 2-3 decades in the IT sector? And I just feel like, if you look at their GDP growth, it's been like 8-9% last 2-3 decades. Why do you think that is?
There are two things. If I say, fundamentally, like India never left to like most of the population, because they were having those fundamentals, like education wise, they were always focused on education from the beginning, and second is because if I say it was a multicultural society, and it was dominated by basically English speaking people were large numbers. They came out and they actually brought more, and the cycle started. And like education wise, if you see like how I know it, many of the inventions and other things, they happened there earlier. Very good people were there, Aryabhatta, and who or actually people who gave mathematical theories and other things were there, but they wiped away because of the invasions and all.
British?
That I said.
Yeah.
I'm saying multiple wars and all the other
Yeah.
things. Yeah. Not. But actually, that thing, when that thing came away from there, then they became better. Another thing I would say is India. Like India never went in and invaded.
Mhm.
Indians were never actually, like they never went away. Like here, Portuguese, French, and everyone went away. Invaded different. India never invaded. India contained themselves and then try to actually have positive energy. If I say it from Indian point of view, we have a mantra. Yeah,
Mantra
which is
means?
like Sanskrit mantra. It is written, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. Like whosoever living on the earth is a family. It is written, thousands of years ago. Vasudha means earth, is a family. So basically, and that is why, this time when G7 and other thing happened, Narendra Modi said, one earth, one family. So those type of mindsets were there already. It was not destructive mindset, India never actually went into destructive mindset. After that could be the reason they worked only on positive side.
By the way, like I've read, I know you need to go, but like the highest earning ethnic group in the United States is Indian.
Yeah.
Second is Jewish.
Yeah.
Third is like whites are like in the middle somewhere, and then the blacks are at the bottom.
Yeah.
I think so. Like I think this thing for education.
Yeah.
Is like I see a lot of my Indian friends. They're very important for their kids.
Yeah.
Is that in the books, or why is education really important for Hindus?
Yes, yeah. Like education is actually thing is because you have seen people. Education is important for Hindus because maybe that is how they have seen. The power is attained through education. If I go back to the medieval, sadhus and all. That is how the gurukuls. So every actually in our culture it was said that kings and Brahmans and all, they were living till the age of brahmacharya, because we have classified entire thing into 4 classes. Life also, brahmacharya, grahasth, vanprasth and sannyas. So basically entire life is also classified. So there are a lot of things. So what I'm trying to say is, when kings kids were going to gurukuls in outside in jungles, they were living in the same way as other kids. So what I'm saying is education was primary for everyone from the beginning. So that mindset from there is carrying on, and the power without materialism concept is still there. There are so many examples. You can see Ratan Tata, you can see Infosys chairman, who founded, and Wipro chairman. The Wipro chairman Ajim Premji, Indian, but actually Jewish, I think, but he donated lots of wealth, whatever he earned. Narayan Murthy and his wife, whose son is actually now son-in-law is now Prime Minister of UK. My friend, he traveled I think 4 years back with economy class. He was standing, before him in the line, and he couldn't believe that person who is having so much of wealth, he is traveling in economy class. His wife is also, he always traveled in economy class. So I am saying, education. From education, wealth has come, but because principally they were away from wealth, so they are carrying on. Ratan Tata, who is actually, Tata, TCS and all, they are considered best organizations in India because they don't work for, taking money from the people. They work actually for the community. They are best organizations where people want to work. That is why they have created so much of cars and all electric cars and all, which are actually it was main purpose was not wealth. It was for actually
Dharma.
Yeah, karma. Yes.
Dharma.
Dharma. That's right.
Serving society.
Serving society, and whatever comes out, just take that thing. Not actually taking everything.
Okay, amazing. So if people want to search a bit more about Hinduism, they want to study, where do you suggest? Do you have some websites or Wikipedia? What's a way to get started, just for intellectual, if people want to get?
Some of my friends have started, but I would say some good thing is happening through Hare Rama Hare Krishna ISKCON. ISKCON temple.
Okay.
ISKCON group is doing some good thing.
Yeah.
Because Gita and Dharma and Karma.
What's Gita?
Gita is the preaching which was given by Shri Krishna.
Okay.
And that that stands true in today's time also. And whatever I have said, karma, dharma, and rebirth, those things are very well, laid down there. You can basically you can understand it in your form.
Okay.
Multiple forms.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So your name again, and can people, are you comfortable people to link to you LinkedIn or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So just say your name again and your
Jaideep Joshi, yeah.
And you're on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, I am LinkedIn also.
Okay, you don't have a website. Yeah.
No,
Not yet. Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
problem.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks,